Go. All right. Would you all join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, we've got a full house tonight. It's nice to see some people in here. Yes, before we move on to our regular board meeting, we have several public hearings this evening. I think that's why probably most of you are here, I'm guessing. You don't have to wait around to the whole meeting to the end. We can start out. We have a cemetery ordinance. I'll open the public hearing for cemetery ordinance revisions. Is there any questions, comments, concerns regarding the cemetery ordinance revisions from anybody? Don't see anything. Board? Nope. No. All right. Not hearing any. We'll close the public hearing for the cemetery ordinance revisions. So I'll open with that. We'll open the public hearing on provider agency requests. I think that's probably why the bulk of you are here. So I guess the way we can do this, I've got a short list here. I think is there 6? Do I have a total of 6? Is that right, Andy? Just make sure
That's right.
I've jotted down my notes here and I can't read my own handwriting. So what I can do if I have the list, I'll just read out. If we have a representative from each provider agency, if you don't mind coming up, and we're not going to grill you too hard up here. So just yeah.
The first one in the packet is New Hope.
New Hope. Yeah, that's what I've got on my list. So yeah, do we have a representative from New Hope in the building?
Joan is online.
Oh, online. Sorry. There you are, right there. Yeah, go ahead. If you don't mind just introducing yourself to us and give us just a quick briefing on your request, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Joan Lamole, and I'm the development director at New Hope Midcoast, formerly New Hope for Women. And we are requesting, as we have in the past, some municipal funding. And this year we have raised our ask by 20%. We've certainly raised our travel reimbursement to staff in a fairly big way, and also, trying to keep up with the cost of living, which 20% doesn't, but we're thrilled to try to just make that happen. Our services remain as they have been. They're free, with the exception of trainings for mental health providers, which are required by their licensure boards. Otherwise, the services are the 24/7 helpline available to everybody in your town. Hospital accompaniment when injury is incurred as a result of domestic abuse, support groups that people can be part of, legal advocacy and supports, dedicated staff at Child Protective in case there's families who are clients and have children, emergency sheltering and long-term transitional housing. And we make sure that they know about the folks we work with for career and financial literacy so that they can become, they can clear their debt if they've been saddled with some credit card debt, and look at careers for themselves and become self-sufficient, work toward that. I think that's the bulk of it. We still have an office in Damariscotta at 18 Belvedere. And yeah, I'm happy to take questions, or if I didn't cover something.
Is there any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah. And you're requesting the 1,589?
Yes.
Yep. Have you been seeing an increase or decrease in need for your services in the last couple of years, or how?
Overall, there's been an increase, and certainly during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was when folks were stuck at home with whoever they were with, and that wasn't always a pretty sight, I guess one could say, for lack of a better way of putting it. So definitely a big increase then. And we still see a lot of that, especially in terms of nights of shelter.
All right. Well, thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, we can keep moving right along, folks.
Okay, if I excuse myself, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just...
Yeah. What's that? Sorry.
Okay, if I excuse myself.
Oh yeah, no, you're more than welcome to hang out, but you can, it's not required. Damariscotta Historical Society. Do we have anybody? Somebody in the back. Come on up. We'll put you in the hot seat up here. Oh.
No, it's gonna be
No, we won't grill you too. Yeah. Unless somebody has any questions, it's just, yeah. Martha.
And I did not prepare anything specific. We are working towards sharing our heritage with community and friends. We do have a house now and no longer a room in the town office to store our belongings.
You're not roving around in different buildings anymore.
We're hoping to be part of the 175th with some house tours and Jake Day paintings in our new home. So we'll be part of that. And we've been putting on some school programs in coordination with Lincoln County Historical Association.
Awesome. You guys have been busy. Oh,
We're trying. We got a lot of paperwork to go through.
it's a lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns for Martha? I don't see any. Yeah.
I would like to say that some of their programs have been spectacular.
Mhm.
Local historian Calvin Dodge.
Yeah.
Puts on a lot of knowledge,
He knows a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the Historical Society will receive a lot of historical information when Calvin passes. He's leaving it. To the historical.
Yeah, he's got quite a collection. Yeah.
Oh, unreal,
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
The saving grace is Calvin identifies all of his stuff,
Yeah,
which a lot of the belongings we have are not really
Right,
identified
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
but Calvin
Yeah.
handwrites.
He does.
All his
Meticulous, isn't he?
identification.
Yeah. That makes a big difference. So. Well, great.
and we
Yeah.
should also put in a note of praise for Mac Ray.
Mhm.
Mackie Ray has done a tremendous amount of work in that building, creating a safe, fireproof safe, doing all kinds of interior work.
Oh,
I
okay.
hate to
And-
think of how many hours he's put in.
He was supposed to keep track. He didn't.
No, he didn't.
Sounds like Mackie.
Yeah.
And he does good work. So,
Yeah. Yes,
oh, that's great. Well, keep up the good work. So, yeah,
right.
that wasn't so painful.
But
We have Healthy Kids next on the list. We have a rep from Healthy Kids here. Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Oh, we're good. I think, let me see, let me get ahead of that one. Healthy Kids are requesting, what, $2,200, right? Is that right, Andy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. Any, questions, comments, concerns? Don't see any, hear any? Oh, we'll keep moving along. Spectrum Generations. Any folks here from Spectrum? All right, that's all right. And their request was or is $4,820. Any questions, comments, concerns? No. All right, we're gonna move right along here. How about Coastal Kids? I know some folks from Coastal Kids here. Come on up. We'll just get your name and
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm Care Hallenbeck. I'm the Executive Director of Coastal Kids Preschool. It's a pleasure to be here with you tonight and to meet you all.
Thank
Our ask is a typical ask for Coastal Kids. It's $2,000. My colleague Joan just mentioned the pandemic, and I'm not sure, I mean, you probably know that nearly 200 childcares closed in Maine during the pandemic. So this essential service for working families became endangered actually in the state. We have a waiting list of, it goes up and down, but right now it's 89 families on our waiting list.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a huge demand. We have currently about 92 students attending, and last year 24 families were from Damariscotta at a cost about $120,000. And we also employ staff who live in Damariscotta. So we're a very, close, tight-knit group. But as you know, perhaps our tuition only covers 70% of our actual budget. So the remaining monies are fundraised between donations and appeals and everything we work on. And part of that, of course, is some town funding.
Right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Pretty straightforward. All right.
I
Yeah,
left
we should get
materials if anyone
flyers.
wants a newsletter or any little one sheets. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. All right, and we have anybody from Hardy Roots? There, maybe, yeah. Look at me. Hey. At least gonna make you state your name, even though I know who you are, so. Yeah.
So
How's
I'm
everybody
Lisa
doing?
Katz, and I'm a relatively new member on the Hardy Roots Board. I'm a Damariscotta resident. I work as a social worker up at Lincoln Academy and also have a practice in town.
My name is Haley Bizon, and 6 years ago, I founded Hardy Roots nonprofit program based out of Lincoln County Nature Preserves and outdoor centers and waterways. And the mission and the goal of Hardy Roots is really to help stem the tide of the mental health crisis that our youth are in dire need of right now. Maine has astronomical rates compared to the rest of the country, with 1 in 4 compared to the national average of 1 in 6 kids with at least one mental health diagnosis. There's a wait list of up to around 300 days to receive behavioral health care treatment. And Hardy Roots is a very small and nimble staff team that's looking to fill that need, that will keep kids in our town, in their communities, by bringing them into the outdoors for alternative therapeutic educational programming, as opposed to sending them out of district for the mental health services that they need. So as you know, when you look at a school budget, if one kid is being sent to a day treatment facility out of, say, Great Salt Bay, for example, it can cost the town payers up to $100,000 for one student to access what the mental health services that they need. And so Hardy Roots is really coming in at a time where there's a huge surge in need. But what we want to do is keep kids in the fabric of their community instead of shipping them out, sitting on a van for an hour and a half to get to a Sweetser program, and really show them the power of the outdoors with qualified mental health professionals who can help steer and guide them on their journey to wellness and wholeness. And Lisa here is, here to sort of represent the need in Damariscotta, specifically being in the social work field at Lincoln Academy.
Yeah. So, I mean, having done this work for over 30 years, I'm really excited about the direction that Hardy Roots is taking, using our natural resources, getting kids into nature. They then become future stewards of the preserves and the land, but it's a really unique model, and it's really exciting. And Haley and her team have been a scrappy grassroots crew working out of the back of their Subarus, going from preserve to preserve and really changing kids' lives. Some of the testimonials I've read from parents and kids are very moving. So they haven't asked for a dime yet. And, we feel like there's a partnership, and we're providing something for kids in Damariscotta and area towns. We've served 30 kids from Damariscotta in the past year. The program's been doubling each year. It's been growing by 100%.
Wow.
And we're on just a huge growth phase, and actually kicking off a capital campaign trying to get a home. So it's not completely mobile, to buy sort of a camp property and have a base. But yeah, so we're asking for some help for the town, because I think ultimately we're really contributing and saving money for the town in the long run.
Ounce of prevention.
Yeah.
Pound a cure.
Yeah, right.
I think it was Benny Franklin.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there is, we're seeing at the high school level and everywhere really a
Sure.
growing mental health
Yeah.
need. So
Exasperated over the last couple of years with
yeah, absolutely.
pandemic and and you're requesting 5,000, correct? This was on the request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the first town that we've come to, and our first sort of like shot in the dark for a number that we think would help to offset the cost of programming, so that kids from Damariscotta, whose families are facing financial barriers, can access the mental health support that they need. And that money would help to be able to make that accessible.
Well, thank you, guys. Is there any questions?
Questions?
Comments?
It's a new
Anything?
program.
I have a question, the statistic you said 1 in 4 versus 1 in 6. Who creates those statistics?
This is done by the Maine CDC and the Maine Youth Outcome Survey, which is kind of a statewide, nationwide partnership where youth and their caregivers are surveyed, as well as pediatricians. Kind of everyone sort of gives their data. The statistic that was the most alarming to me, I think, was the increase in the number of kids who really felt like they don't matter anymore. And really, again, high in the state of Maine compared to the national average.
Do you, either one of you have any idea why that is?
Why the mental health rates are up or
Yeah. Why
In
the
Maine
kids
specifically, or-
Yeah,
Maine
Maine.
specifically? Yeah. So there are a number of reasons that Maine is higher in mental health, mental illness rates, suicide rates. We are Yankees and believe in pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and don't like to ask for help. We have a lot of dark, cold days in the year compared to other states. It's a rural area. A lot of people are isolated. We don't have the same resources other states do. You know, we don't have enough agencies doing the work that needs to be done. There's a shortage of providers,
Those are good
a
reasons.
lot of poverty.
I will add
That-
one thing to that is that there's a direct correlation to the surge in the mental health crisis for our kids, our teenagers and young people specifically, with the introduction of smartphones and social media and addiction to those devices. And I think one thing our program is trying to do is really empower parents from a young age about smart, moderated use of how we introduce technology and how we work with our, young adolescent and teenage kids on knowing what's healthy and where those boundaries are, and even delaying the start of having access to a smartphone and all that comes with social media.
Get them outside.
Thank you.
Get them outside and come home for dinner. So,
That's what they do.
Any other questions?
yeah.
No,
Oh, that's
but
good.
I
Thank you.
do notice that one of the previous presenters is agreeing with everything you say.
Yeah,
Mm.
a lot of heads nodding. Well, we've all worked together. It starts at preschool, it goes
yeah.
through high school. Yeah, it's all about prevention, and this is a prevention-oriented program. We want to get
Great.
kids
Well,
hooked
thank
in
you.
a positive way before there's a crisis. Yeah. And Haley has some information
Yeah, I'll
about
leave.
the
Yeah,
agency.
if you want to leave some, yeah, absolutely.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your questions.
Absolutely. I think that was it for you. I didn't miss one, right? That's all the agencies, yeah. So as of right now, they've all met the criteria to be on the ballot and whatnot. So we'll, get you into June and hopefully sway the voters and we'll see what happens. Raise some money. But we thank everybody for coming in and presenting. So it's always interesting to see what's going on. So thank you. No other issues with provider agencies. We'll close the public hearing for provider agency requests. And I'll open the public hearing for the entertainment special amusement permit for Ann's Book Bistro. And you were just here not too long ago, Abby. Yeah. Yeah, come on up and then we'll go through the formalities.
Right hand.
So
Yeah.
Where's the-
yeah, so we'll get your name for the record again. So yeah.
Abigail White, I'm the owner of Ann's Book Bistro.
Oh.
Have swollen closed inner ears due to allergies, so if I say what?
We won't make you. Yeah, this is all pretty straightforward. Does anybody have any questions for Ann?
As long as they're carrying
Abby.
Tito's,
Yeah.
I have no other issues.
As long as they keep up the quality of the food that is served.
We do intend to.
God, you were busy the other night. I couldn't make it in, but
Oh,
I've never seen so many cars. So
I was worried we weren't gonna be able to fit them all along the sides of all the roads, but
I'm like, wow, that was a
Yeah.
successful night for you. So yeah.
We had to
Yep.
park in the bank parking lot.
you did.
Over.
Good. Some people don't think to do that, and the bank has given us permission to do
Yeah,
that, so.
convenient though. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
great.
Glad to hear that, because I do that a lot.
Well, hearing no questions, comments, concerns as far as your application goes, we'll close the public hearing for that. And
Thank you.
awesome. And with that, I'll call the May 17th Damariscotta Select Board meeting to order. If it all the same to the board or pleases the board, I'd like to move up official action items 1 for the entertainment license for Ann's Book Bistro ahead in the schedule. Is that all right with everybody?
Yep,
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Okay, Tom, Lou's made a motion to approve the license, and I think Tom seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right. They're all set, yeah.
Josh abstains.
So Josh is, and I should mention that we are missing yeah, I kind of forget. Josh is not here. He has a prior engagement, so it's just the 4 of us tonight. All right, so, yeah, you're good. You can hang out for the rest if you want.
We lost everybody.
Go back to work. That's why we try to get you guys out early, so. All right, and so let's go through some housekeeping here.
Should be,
So-
Ron's on the auditor.
You want to do it raw now?
And here comes Cheryl.
Yep. Oh, okay, yeah, let's, absolutely.
I don't know if
Yep.
you'd be willing to entertain bumping that. If
No,
Ron,
we're gonna shuffle around a little bit under citizens comments number 1, the financial audit presentation. And we're gonna start with that. So poor Cheryl can go home. And I believe we have Ron with us as well. So
Hey, folks,
yeah, we'll let you take over and have at it. Oh.
thank you. So yeah, thanks, Andy, for moving that up. So yeah, the financial statement audit, June 30, 2022. I don't know what you guys have in front of you. Do you guys actually have it in front of you?
we do.
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna flip to a couple of pages and hit the highlights, and I won't be going through 108 pages for you guys tonight. How does that sound?
That's fine, Ron. Just give us the page numbers and we'll follow along. So
Yeah, very good. So I'm gonna first get to statement C, which is actually in the financial statement, page 15.
all right.
So there's your balance sheet for your general fund for June 30, 2002. It's got the school department in it as well. So at June 30, 22, you guys got $7.2 million. I'm in the first column, general fund, about a little getting close to a quarter of the way down to the page. Total assets, everything that you own, about $7.2 million against obligations and everything that you owe, of about almost $3 million, leaving you with fund balance or carryover balance on June 30, 22 of $4.1 million, $4,180,000. Everybody see where I'm getting that?
Yep.
That 4,180,000 last year, it was about 1.7, little over north of $1.7 million, you all. So it grew by about a little over $2.3 million this year. Largely that was due to the note that was added before June 30, 22 for your roads and sidewalks, the bond on that, for the increase in fund balance. That number will be going down if it hasn't already, most of it, as we sit here and speak, because of those projects just didn't happen till after June 30, 2022. Your education fund, you have $527,000 in that, and that's up about $130,000 from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then largely all your other governmental funds, largely that's capital projects, your trust funds that you have with the cemetery and things like that. About $2.3 million sitting there. So the town financially, you've got a lot of money, and you got all the money in the right places, you all. You've got certainly after you take even if taking away the note for the $2.3 million as of June 30, 22, still going to leave you right about where you were at last year. And where we like to see you guys is 30, 60, 90 days of your operating budget. So in Damariscotta terms, that's about $5.1 million ish, in any given year. So based upon that, we'd be seeing you at 400,000 for 30 days, 800,000 for 60, and 1.2 for 90. So you're at a little more than 120 days, you guys, which is exactly where you were last year. So your revenues came in on budget, your expenses all within $100,000. Your property tax collections were a little higher than what you expected. But I mean, your revenue and expense budgets all virtually came within budget, you all, so, and that actually went up about $100,000. So there's certainly nothing there, that was alarming to us. On that, I'm actually moving around so I don't have to hit 13 pages in your financial statements. And if you actually flip forward, 2 pages into the document, you'll see where I'm at right now, but I'm actually combining that with 7 or 8. So you don't keep flipping back and forth, with the back of the document. But budget was really spot on. And the only thing someone could say is, wow, that fund balance go up so much. It was planned. You guys borrowed the note, the timing of that note, it just didn't coincide with the timing of you doing actually all those projects, you guys. So that money is there, and a lot of that's going to be spent, obviously after this audit, and in this fiscal year, that we're going to be talking about, that we're actually going to be starting pre-audit on here pretty soon. So. So yeah, I mean, you got our highest opinion, unmodified opinion. So, just nothing but good news. I mean, you guys are really right where you were financially right there. 120 days of your fund balance. You were there last year. You're there again this year. We audit like over half the municipalities in the state of Maine. So one thing, and I'm sure you guys are really to kind of complement your capital projects money that you've got set aside, is that the state's got like $2.5 billion over the next 3 years coming in to build back America again, and a lot of that's going to be dealt with and getting money into the local governments too for infrastructure. So certainly compounded with your capital, any infrastructure needs that you guys have, now's the time to certainly start talking about that, because we believe that everybody, is going to start certainly, sharpening up their pencils and upgrading their capital plans to stand in line for all this infrastructure money. So it'll work the same way it was for ARPA. And I know the state's still working out the details for that, but that's good news for you too. It's good news for the state of Maine. So.
Thank you, Ron. Any questions? Anybody? No?
Sounds good.
Cheryl, anything to add? No?
No, I let you know that I was be delaying it. It took longer because I was slow. I was the town manager, tax collector, and treasurer for this audit, so it did drag a little bit.
Well, I think it needs to be mentioned that, and Ron, it's so nice to hear that we're in a good financial position, but we need to recognize the staff that keeps an eye on the money. So, and one of them, the one sitting right over there out of the camera shot here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was able, like I say, Cheryl didn't pay me anything. Let me first say that, but she definitely, wearing all those hats, certainly was able to, really with, kind of just a couple of best practice comments, right now, that we had nothing serious at all. She was able to keep this ship floating and running administratively and financially. So I think this is a pretty good presentation.
Yeah. Awesome. That's what we want to hear. Yeah. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah. Great. I don't have any questions. Anybody?
I don't at this point.
Well, good. Well, you made that easier on, I guess. If there's
There you go. Cheryl, get ready. Be talking to you soon about 23.
Thank you, Ron.
Take
Thanks
care,
for-
everybody. Be safe.
Thanks for coming in, Ron. Thank you. It's good to hear. So.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
We was happy to see that. We do have it before town meeting this year, so I don't know if it was really delayed too much, but
Mm.
One of the later ones.
is it?
We've had some
Lots of
late ones, haven't we? But-
We have typically them March and April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but good news.
Yes.
We got it.
All right.
Thank you for staying, Cheryl.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
You gonna hang out? Yeah. Gone. Oh, all right. Did I see a question come through on via Zoom? Maybe regarding the liquor license renewal? Is it from Damariscotta River Cruises? Yeah. Okay.
They had a request.
Yeah, so later we have an official action for renewal, so I don't, yeah, question regarding the renewal list, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they need to be hanging out, it's up to them, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
the renewals, we don't typically do a
Yeah,
public
no
hearing
hearings.
for it, but the board does usually my understanding, take an official action during the action part of the
Yep.
agenda.
Yep, so
Yep.
we'll just, yeah, they can either stay on or not, but I don't, unless we have some questions for them, but we shouldn't, so, okay. All right, we'll go back, we'll start back with some housekeeping here again. So on our minutes, we're only doing, just the minutes of May 3rd. I think and you just got out the 24th, right? So we'll
I
review
did.
those and table them for next meeting. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes for May 3rd?
Yep.
All right, do I have a motion on that?
Make a motion to approve the May 3rd.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Second, Tom's gonna second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, and we can move into financial reports. We have a payroll warrant number 53.
Josh is not here.
Josh not here. Yeah, you want to take it, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve payroll warrant number 43.
All right, Tom's gonna
53.
53. Yep.
Second.
And Lou seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, motion carries. And we have accounts payable number 54.
That's the big one, so let Lou do
I
that.
make a motion. We approve accounts payable warrant number
54.
54.
More, okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yep, Andrew's gonna second. All those in favor? All right, 3. I'm gonna abstain on this one because it's got a whole bunch of big, long list of C and G stuff in there, so I'll in the effort of being transparent, I'll aim from that one. So but motion carries, so we're good there. All right, so we'll move along. We've already done number 1 on citizens' comments. And we can move right through number 2. We had a DOT letter on the rumble strip. I'm assuming everybody's got a chance to look at that. Any questions, comments?
No,
I didn't
It
realize
was
there was.
how important it is.
Yeah, I didn't realize there's such an issue with noise with them too, you know.
It's nice for them to do it voluntarily and stuff up.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, being proactive, so that's nice for a change. Anything, Andy?
No.
I guess we can post this on our website. So they're asking for our help in getting notice out to the community.
Right.
Yeah. So they can, include it in a
Which
few
is-
different places, but
Nice, they
In the
don't.
newsletter? Put it in the newsletter?
She's right there, ready to.
that's
take
one
it.
avenue.
Yeah.
We need to get the word out, hint, hint. They give you something to write about.
We do have a citizen. I don't know if he has something to say.
Is there
tonight.
something in on? Okay, I'll get to, yeah, we'll go through these now. Last thing saying, and yes,
My calendar to be here and I have no idea why.
we need somebody in the audience.
I'm coming.
And the other interesting one we had was the FAA letter, which I don't know if I fully understood that, Andy. That's a different.
Yeah, I think they had put something out previously to reroute some of their flight paths into
Okay.
in and out of the hospitals.
Yeah.
So this is a notice saying that there's a draft environmental assessment available for review.
Yeah, I heard they're
Okay.
gonna go over.
So are
Church
they
Street.
changing
They
the
do.
flight paths over miles?
The approach to,
The approach to,
Yeah.
well, it used to
Yeah.
come right over my house.
okay,
Gonna change?
I don't, you know,
Looks like they're
I
looking
didn't
into it.
review
Yeah.
it, supposed to see. But this is in relation to the environmental assessment that was completed and available for review.
Okay.
They're just gonna fly lower to you.
And they got to buzz you.
It's
I already think they're in my house.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not really debatable wherever they want to fly.
Yeah.
Do what they got.
Right.
Yeah, that's not much we can do about that. Okay. And we had another an MDOT letter for the multi-use by-lane presentation and comment period, which is an interesting one. So
This
Yeah.
we did put out on our Facebook
Yep.
page yesterday.
saw that go out.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
So the video, the on-demand public meeting, if you will, is that, you know, the DOT has changed their public process. And so they're going almost entirely virtual. They're pre-recorded presentations. You have the opportunity to log in, if you will, and pose your questions and comments through that portal.
That a period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about, I think it was about an 8 or 10 minute view.
Mhm.
So it's not too long, but this is the time in the process where they've got the design, preliminary design figured out. You know, they show the impacts of properties along the way, if they need to have a widen the right of way, or if it's within the existing right of way. So it would be the opportunity now to weigh in and pose questions or comments about that project.
Do you know how far down they're going on Biskie?
They're not going down
They're
Biscuit.
going from McDonald's down to the school.
To the school, yeah.
Oh, just from
Basically, yeah.
McDonald's to the school.
The
just
intersection,
that
yeah,
little
through.
part.
Actually,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
past McDonald's. It's
Yeah.
gonna go from the line of Hannaford's and the gas station.
Oh.
Through the Biscuit.
Oh, good.
There.
And then it's
Okay.
also gonna have a pedestrian cross at Church Street and tie into our sidewalk project coming up Church Street.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that he
It-
lives on Church Street, a lot of things going on there.
They were well in
A lot of
motion before.
improvements going on there.
I will say, it seems like MDOT, I mean, they're getting a lot more stuff out lately for notices and people involved. It's nice to see that. Because in the past, I don't think we've always known what was going on until they were doing it. So if anybody from MDOT's listening, we appreciate it.
One question on that I did pose to
Mhm.
them, and I don't know what the board would like to do if they want to try and do maybe at the next meeting or a separate meeting, try and do like it's a short presentation, but I didn't know if people were expecting like a public meeting. I did ask the question if there could be something coordinated with someone from the DOT to
Mhm.
provide answers to any questions that might come up, if we could be a virtual host site essentially
Oh,
for it.
gotcha. Yeah.
I know that again, they've gotten away from the in-person presentations because they got so many projects going on.
Yeah.
Just wasn't sure your thoughts or if you're hearing anything or.
Anything's better than nothing, and I think it'll work.
But this is something that they're
This is on the
committed to
Belvedere,
doing.
this is on the Belvedere with the roundabout, right?
No, this is,
No.
this is for the multi-use.
Just
youth
for the-
bylaw.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, They're posting.
I suppose it depends on, I mean, we've got this, you've got it posted on the town site and whatnot. I mean, we can. Have you fielded, I mean, it's just only yesterday, so we probably haven't gotten any questions or anything on it yet. So
Only
we-
from the pedestrian safety and accessibility collaborative, they were curious about whether that would happen or not. I had made them aware of the meeting.
Yeah.
That's available on demand.
Mhm.
So I wonder if it would make sense to, just kind of wait to see if there's anything comes up, you know?
Yeah, comment period's open until June 2nd.
Yeah.
But would we know anyway? It goes straight to them.
That's if you log in and view it from their portal as they're asking, yes, you reply directly to
To them.
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And the suggestion, Andy's suggestion was whether or not we want to host we'd be a host of a meeting, basically.
So people would,
But I think we're probably okay as long as if you don't get a lot of feedback yet or anything, is we can pivot if we need to, I suppose. Yeah, but it would be nice at some point. I think we've talked about before of having representatives come in and I know they're not doing a lot of, like I said, not doing a lot of public stuff now because they've got so many things going on, but it is
that
always nice to get a visit.
quite fast because it's only open for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it would
Yeah.
have to happen like
So-
on Monday or Tuesday if we were really gonna have open it to encourage the public to.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
we
the
should-
most we can do is probably try to have something in the paper about it. And on our website.
Yeah, they can log on and input right on here, so. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, any other,
You feel like we need to do more than that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if we get it out on the, it's probably gonna be in the paper.
Like, we don't
And,
need to table for it or anything.
What's that?
We don't need to table for it or anything.
No, there's no actions or anything on our end. It's just basically the MDOT is being nice and communicating the town that this is happening and getting some citizens input.
Well, it's an
So,
important
yeah,
project.
it's an important
There's
project,
A lot of properties and
Yeah.
commercial properties along the way and.
Yeah, and they're asking for
And
input
it's
from
something
citizens
we've
and
been looking
whatnot.
for 20 years,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of questions we can answer. It's gonna be a
Correct.
matter of them answering it. So,
But it's
yeah.
just a matter of getting people to.
Sure. To engage.
participate. Yes, thank you,
Yes,
right?
that's the $1 million question. How do we do that? So, yeah. All right. Any other comments or correspondence? Anything come through the office, Andy? Good?
That was most of them.
Yeah, emotion. All right. That sounds good. We can go through, you've got a list of updates here.
Yes, you've been around town. You've seen some progress on the capital projects.
Some stuff happening.
There is.
Yeah.
Egypt Road did get its surface treatment or layer of
Mhm.
asphalt this past Friday and Monday. There's some finishing work to do, but the majority of that project is done. There's some, again, hand placement and a few driveway entrances that we need to finish off.
Yeah.
Some shoulder work along some certain sections there where, just gained a little bit of elevation.
Looks good. Any speed complaints yet?
Not yet, but I have put a reminder in that it would be good to be a little more present out there. And I think this is about the time of year we start rotating the speed sign
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's a very nice surface out there right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice surface.
Mile Street, I was down there before the meeting. They are putting the light bases in this evening. And the plan is to try and pave by the time the week ends, as well as they're shooting to put the granite curbing in before the end of the week.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
ambitious, yeah.
So that'll be moving along quite nice down there. The culvert works, I believe it looks like the culvert work is completely finished at this point. That was the kind of one of our last big steps that we needed to see finished. That was a little bit of a change on that. Yeah, I think they're generally on track as long as the weather cooperates and
And the engineers have been down there checking to make sure that everything's up to.
on and off. Yep. Yeah, I think they came, Andrew was, our engineer was in yesterday morning to check on that. I didn't get to touch base with him. I was on another call that I had to be on, so.
Yep.
But yes,
Good to
he's
see
been
that coming along.
been in to see that. Belvedere Road, got the base treatment. We need to get in and do some ditching. I am waiting for confirmation right now from the contractor on the unit pricing for that work. There was some conversation about what that price would be. It was identified in the bid form.
Yeah, and the bid specs,
We
right?
changed
But it was-
from milling to.
This is on Belvedere
Oh,
Road,
this is
different, yeah, set up, so.
I was in conversation with them about, whether or not, now that we've identified how much ditching we're talking about, probably close to 2,500 feet of ditching. And some shouldering that needs to get backed up. So it was in the bid specs as to be identified in the field and as
Right.
the budget allows. So, like on Egypt Road, worked with the contractor to, now that once they knew how much they were looking at having to do, the price became a little more favorable on Egypt Road. And I'm just waiting to see if that something that would carry
Yeah.
over to that project too, now that we know.
The bid spec didn't, give us a distance, so once you,
Right.
the amount, it can change a little.
So
bit,
do we get to 1,200 tons of asphalt? And do we get all the tickets from the trucks?
We don't at the moment have tickets from the trucks. That's something that the engineer will follow up with, before last payment and everything.
All right,
Yep, we have mentioned that.
all right.
Okay.
Hodgson Street, we do have a pre-construction meeting this week scheduled. That'll allow them, the contractor, once we get through that, to be able to move forward with purchasing anything. And setting a schedule for that project. So it says in the bid response that they'd have it done, I think, by the end of October. So anytime between now and then, after this meeting, they'll be able to
Yeah.
look at scheduling that and getting that
Great,
moving
great.
forward.
I've noticed in your report there that they're gonna fill some of the
They did.
There.
some
already did.
holes. Yeah.
Oh, my God, they were huge.
There's what I've been, I've had several people ask me. Let's do, we're fixing the road.
It did take us a little while and I apologize for that. We did have a contractor bring us in a load, a big load, about 15 tons of cold mix.
Oh, nice.
Knowing we could put a lot out.
Yeah, good.
And so we made a good trip out of that with the
Yeah.
contractors. So.
That's great.
Parking lot waterfront project. There is some headway or some light to move forward, I think. We did hear back from the committee. We are still working to try and they did reduce the project amount or the scope, essentially looking at the timeline of what we have to finish in, and they wanted us to kind of look at that and kind of cut out the non-essential components of that in the remaining phase. And in doing so, they pulled back potentially some of the funding in total. So we're trying to advocate to show them that there is a need for the full 3 million. I think we're going to pull back, I think, about 250,000 by looking at what we had there for the next phase. So
Did they specify what they wanted to pull back on?
they did, included living shoreline. There was something, a $7,600 line for miscellaneous improvements and some of the walkability and sidewalk components that would come down from Water Street, and then the Taco Alley stamp.
Oh, okay. But they're considering non-essential, but part of the
Right.
project, yeah.
So we're still working through that with them to see if we can restore that full $3 million award amount. Because there's still components of the project that until the bids come back, we don't know exactly what it'll be. So that's
Yeah.
what. So again, sounds like we're getting closer. At least we have heard back, but we just want to try and restore that full amount. And the water district meeting tonight as well. They started at 5. Hoping that their board will authorize them to go sign on as co-applicants with our revised application. That the application is nearly complete. We just need to plug in the budget numbers. Again, kind of waiting for them to hopefully bump that back up. So that should be out hopefully by the end of the month, back to them with a revive, hopefully with the district as a co-recipient.
That's really good news.
Yes.
So with that, we're hoping if that goes forward as we're expecting, I think the engineers were thinking they'd be able to put bid docs together and out advertise those by the fall.
All right.
Hopefully we can stay on
Some
track.
movement. That's good. Good.
It's very positive.
So hold my breath, but I'm.
Yeah.
They're on record for approving it.
Yeah.
With the exception of 200,000.
Working on it. Yeah. Yeah. Going in a direction. So.
Provided a few notes from the person who represents the service center communities or service centers coalition in Augusta. Just some minor updates about some of the GA bills. Nothing terribly significant in there, I don't think. As I look through it, there was one that LD 1260 that proposed raising revenue sharing to 7%, which would have been nice.
What is it now?
At 5,
Is it
fully
okay.
funded at 5 now.
Yeah.
But there was a vote 7-2 ought not to pass. So, and they are they're still waiting. I think there's a work session coming up for one of the bills for GA that would increase the reimbursement to municipalities from 70% to 90%. And there's some hope that that might gain traction with the committee.
Okay.
Positive vote, but
See what happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another updates just with the public works crew. The new workers seems to be working out really well and seems to be enjoying it there. And so with this extra set of hands every day now, we're able to kind of move positively towards getting the town ready for spring and summer. Most of the park benches, I think, have been put out at this point. Trash cans are on their way. We're trying to get the Biskie Beach ready. We're thinking Friday. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get down in there with a contractor to try and get some of those leaves pulled out. And then the outhouse should be down there by the first of the week, hopefully. So
Right.
I think we're also looking to do street sweeping downtown next week, just as a notice to folks. We try to get in there early in the morning and out before the morning commute. But we'll be looking to do that early next week.
Do we have a machine that does that?
We do that sidewalk machine, or that small front end loader does have an attachment on the front to be able to pick up. We have 2 brooms. One is like a knockoff broom and one's a pickup broom.
Okay.
So it's a small capacity, essentially, if you're pulling up all that sand and dirt and debris, but they can move along at least and
Yeah.
get
Does
a lot of
decent
it.
job. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
So those are all the Church Street I just mentioned. I guess I think I had that in there. Church Street, open as early as this week. We can get that opened up on the culvert there, down at the bottom of the hill here.
Yeah.
Just out of an abundance of caution, just don't want to see that opened up, not knowing fully. There was a void identified a few years ago when they did the geotechnical analysis, and just it's about 3 or 4 feet. The hole that's at the surface is about 3 or 4 feet from that boring. We just can't see until they get in there. Someone gets in there and opens it up. So I did reach out to a couple contractors, and as of yesterday did say yes, or this morning did say yes to one of them.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to kind of see what happens when we open it up. I'm hoping that it's just some material and we can patch it back in and it's no big deal. But the engineer,
when are they able to take a look at it?
I'm hoping by the end of the week.
Okay. You said that. I missed it. So
but,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it might be early next week.
Good. Yeah.
The engineer was here in town and I did have him look at it. He was not concerned of any imminent failures looking at the abutment. So the structural integrity of the pipe and the patch seems okay, but again, the void may have gotten a little bigger underneath and we just can't see it. So
Yeah.
and we are at least as far as I know, we were included in the DOT DMR grant for the culvert replacement. We might want to look at other sources of grant funds for that replacement as well, just in case that doesn't come through, but they thought
Wouldn't hurt.
it wouldn't hurt. They thought they might hear back in October. So we have between now and then to know if it was awarded and if we're included at the full amount that it went in for. So trying to see what else we can put in for.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. It's
Good.
we can do some temporary work and get it open back up again.
Right.
So, yeah, I know it's an inconvenience for folks going through there, but we want to be safe as well and we don't need a car swallowed up through the bridge. So, oh, awesome. Thank you, Andy.
Oh, and I had a question posed in there about the stencil.
Yeah, we were gonna borrow Newcastle's. or
Camden had
Camden's?
used one. That was the example. I had not heard back from them. So
Right, so you just
Yeah.
ordered one?
it's
the hell's
okay.
going on?
It's okay. We just go forward with ordering one. They're not terribly expensive. I just figured we'd try one from them. And there was a question at the PSAC committee about what it says.
Yeah,
I don't know if the board has a preference on it. You know, the sign that came to us said stop, wait, wave. I think what was suggested was wait, wave, walk. I don't know if there's a preference on that or not.
whatever's available.
I have no preference.
No,
Like the stop, wait, wave.
I like
one.
www though. It's sort of a ring to it.
But yeah, I like the stop, wait, wave, but I'm not going to be a holdout of whatever you get.
Yeah, you pick it.
All right.
It's yeah,
It
it's not
probably
that
makes
big of
more
an issue.
sense. It probably
Yeah.
makes more sense than the other one.
Great. Move forward with that.
Yeah, whatever you can get your hands on at this
Yeah,
point.
I
Yeah,
agree.
works. So cool. All right. Well, good. Yeah, a lot going on. So that's good. All right. Well, no other comments, Andy, on your end. We'll get we have a couple of official action items left. We've already done number one there on our list for the entertainment license for Ann's Book Bistro. We have a public service liquor license for Maine Boats LLC, DBA Damariscotta River Cruises. This is a renewal.
Mhm.
And let me see, where's that one? There we go. I'll make a motion to approve the public service liquor license to Maine Boats LLC.
Second.
All right. And yeah, Tom seconded, I think. And any discussion? All those in favor? All right, that carries. And we have a catered function application. It's like this one's from Stone Cove out to Lakehurst.
Two of them there, actually.
Is there two?
Yeah. There were.
Yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I combined them in a motion if that was something you'd like to consider.
Well, yeah, we can combine them. I just didn't realize there was
Two
there,
different,
sorry.
two
Yeah.
different
Two different.
catering companies, two different events, two different dates.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
One's.
Oh, and the NCS LLC. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misread that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you did do that. Yeah, cool. No, that's fine. I'll make a motion to approve the catered function applications for both Stone Cove Catering and NCS LLC as presented.
Second.
All right, thank you, Lou. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. There's they can. You sure, Dick? You sure?
No, I heard your stomach growling, so.
We're just
Yeah.
getting started here, so, yeah.
My calendar, I think it might have been an interest in the provider agency. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
On the-
Well, thanks for coming, though. I mean, it was, yeah, we've got a few hanging out, so
Yeah.
just keep each other company out there.
You got it under control.
Good night, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, okay. Well, I think that wraps up all our official stuff anyway. So we can start down Zandy or Tom with any
Yeah, a couple things.
comments?
The investigation or research into aquaculture is starting to get more attention in a positive way. Another aquaculture pioneer has come forward to suggest that we meet, and you know who that is.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
I think that's all positive. I mean, now we got a couple of aquaculturists that want to meet and discuss the concerns. And I saw recently on the Schooner Cove investigation as to the comprehensive plan that the people over there are also concerned about the impact of aquaculture and on the environment. So that was one of their highest priorities, as a matter of fact.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all moving in the right direction,
Yeah.
I think, because people will want to talk, and that's all we're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of interested parties, so
Yeah.
that's good.
I've had a
Some-
couple of people ask me about whether or not we should have a sign saying entering Damariscotta, you know, Maine's oyster capital or something. I think I haven't gone down there to look at all the signage as you come into town. There's the
Oh.
combines twin villages, but I think there's a Newcastle sign by itself.
Yeah.
But there's no Damariscotta sign when we get to the bridge, maybe. But that's just a thought. I mean, somebody brought it to me, so I
Yeah,
said I'd bring it up.
interesting. All right. No, thank you. I'll keep keeping looking into it. So, yeah. Lou?
I would like to thank all the supporting agencies that came in here tonight. I'm very proud to see so many local people working in different areas to make our community the best in the state.
Well said.
Amen.
Yeah. We can follow up on that one. Andrea, you go next.
I'm good tonight.
All right, and yeah, I'll one thing I'll add, I just it's you know, a lot of these public works projects have been on the books for a while, and it's really nice to see things moving along
Yeah.
and you know,
Mhm.
you see something tangible happening. So it's exciting for me anyway, and hopefully a lot of people. So that's all I have. That's it. You know, we have no other any comments, citizens or anything like that. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn if anybody wants to throw it out there.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Lou seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? We are adjourned. We need to sign. Yeah. Start there and yeah. Just the two financials and then we have licenses here. So I'll yeah.
Liquor license to use books.